This week on the Sirens Log.
Their car broke down because of nothing we did.
There's no way it's going to be less than $600.
Mask is very important. Safety gear.
So I've been working on my sailing endorsement, and so far so good. We have been here on the side of this road for almost 12 hours.
It's like wiping your butt, you know what I mean? You don't want to rub in the poop, you want to wipe the poop away.
Welcome to the Sirens Log. I'm Siren, and this is Hal. Oh, and there's Bentley, our foster dog. After scouring shipyards and marinas and navigating what felt like a voyage of 1,000 clicks, we recently found a boat we could both agree on. We looked at some great boats, and we found some that were not so great. We chose a 1976 Tiana 37 that will still need a lot of work. We're motoring over 1,000 miles from Daytona Beach to Panama City, Florida, where we have all of the resources necessary to do the refit. We have to replace all of the rigging, move the chain plates, assess the original teak deck, and outfit the boat for long-term travel. It's been a masterpiece of misadventures so far. So hit that subscribe button and join us on this trip around the Sunshine State. It just has no power, or what's going on?
Yeah.
Hybrid system running. Battery level low. What do you do if the battery level is low?
It said shift into park and wait.
Do you have tools?
No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, we're in North Florida, and they're beyond South Florida.
Look, their car broke down because of nothing we did.
Yeah, I know. It's just.
This is their
Is it
responsibility.
gonna cost us a bunch of money to like prove that or something? We'd rented a car using an app called Turo from a business in Key West. The payment was made for a week-long rental, which would take us all the way from the southernmost town in the state, all the way to North Florida and back again, with something like 1,500 miles included in the rental. We left Key West at around 11 a.m., and Hal drove most of the day until around 10 p.m. Then I continued to drive while he slept. He took over at around 2:30, and just minutes later, the hybrid car was telling us to pull over due to a battery issue. Hal's got the road ranger out here for the third time, and they're gonna try to jump the car. I don't know if that's gonna do anything because we were literally going like 75 miles an hour down the road when the battery stopped.
If it's not turning over, we can give it about 10 minutes to charge. Probably, you know, if you've been here. Were you running your flash when you stopped it off?
No. There's something wrong with the vehicle. Like, this is not my fault. We just got in the car and we drove the car. We put gas in the car. The car just stopped on its own. This is not my fault. I'll call them back, but you're gonna have to call them. You're gonna have to call them and give them a credit card before they come. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right.
What did I say?
Had her on the phone. I'm about to leave this thing.
She wants us to pay for the tow? To
Yeah,
Tallahassee?
and she said we'd work it out. I'm not.
Dude, that's hundreds and hundreds
Hello?
of dollars.
Yes, ma'am. This is the Sonata. Just called you. I need this to go to the Hyundai dealership in Tallahassee. And the owner of the car wants me to ask you how much is it going to cost, and then can you take a credit card over the phone? I'm on Interstate 10 at mile marker 295. I'm westbound.
There's no way it's gonna be less than $600.
if you're paying with cash, you get a cash discount, it'd be $627.
Okay, I appreciate you very much. Let me call the owner of the car back and relay all this information.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
So $659. And after paying almost that much to rent the car, they think that we're going to cover that? And then be without the car? No, what?
It's not the roadside assistant's fault. It's the owner's fault. She's been trying to get me to use a private tow company. Then she wanted me to pay for the tow company. And then I'm done dealing with her. I'm dealing with you. I ran it through an app, through you. I got your tow company coming. Better late than never, but they're coming. I'm not going to have the vehicle for the remainder of the trip. I don't think I should have to pay for it.
Yes, I totally understanding, sir, okay? Once the vehicle has been towed in the area, actually we can have this.
So I think we've got the situation finally figured out. Tow truck's coming to the rescue, and he's going to take us to Live Oak, and he's going to take the car to Tallahassee, but we're done with the car. And we just are going to take the Enterprise car to Panama City, drop it back off tomorrow, and then we'll have our own vehicles, and it looks like we're probably just driving our own car back down to Key West, which means my Jeep is going to be in Key West, which means we might be hanging out in Key West, which means we have to figure out how to get my Jeep back from Key West. So, yeah. Bird is getting aggravated. The dog is getting aggravated. We're getting aggravated. We have been here on the side of this road for almost 12 hours. True story. We still have plenty of water. The road rangers, if you're familiar with Florida, we have road rangers that come down the highways and you know, check on you if you break down. Sometimes they'll tow you. But the road ranger gave us some waters, and you know, we have snacks and stuff like that, but we don't have any like real food, so we're ready to get out of here. It took 12 hours to negotiate a plan with the owners of the car, and they insisted that we have the car jumped and have the road rangers bring fuel to see if it would somehow magically help with the car battery. Little did we know that it would take weeks of fighting with the company to receive a refund on that rental. Oh man, well, I got a car. Good morning, guys. So I have a little announcement. I'm going to start my sailing endorsement with Mariner's Learning System today online. It shouldn't be very hard. I should already know a lot of the information, but in the event that I don't, or I need something explained, I do have a good friend named Anderson, and he's going to answer all my questions because I'm going to be with him today. And let me explain what happened. So this is what we're about to go do. So I have a listing here. It's a Sea Ray, and because I was gone, I had Anderson show the boat for me, which went really well. But where the engine bay is and where it opens like this, you press a button, it doesn't stop on its own anymore. And if you're unaware of that, then it just rips the screws out of the wood, which is exactly what it did. So Anderson has agreed he wants to fix it. We met with the owner of the boat this morning. They talked through what they want to do to fix it so it never happens again. And I'm going to work on my sailing endorsement while Anderson works on this lid. So we're going to follow and track Anderson's progress on this boat, and we're going to track my progress on my sailing endorsement for my license. So let's get moving.
Hi, my name is Anderson Barnes. I am with the Stonelaw Boat Shop. We are restoring the Governor's Stone, but I'm also doing some boat work on the side for my friend here. Of course, the important part of this process is the prep work. Now, if I'm good, I just don't, I don't spill anything. This was replaced a while back, so it doesn't stop when it's going into the down position. So it actually ripped the screws out of the bottom of the hatch. So I've got to grind that out, repair that with some fiberglass, do some thickener, lay all that on there, and I'll come back and paint it and repair that. And then we have to figure out how to make a spacer pad to keep that from happening again, so that we can pull the piston all the way in the down position and it won't rip the screws out. So that's what we're working on right now, and I'm just kind of prepping everything, making sure I get all set up so I can just start jamming and not worry too much about making a mess. The blower is crucial for working in the Florida environment. It also helps to feed fresh oxygen in.
So that's securing that piece of wood holding up the hatch.
Yeah, just a precautionary method. For the kind of work I need to do here, I need a cat's paw, something like that. These are kind of old and worn down. That one will work. Of course, if you're ever messing with your blade on this thing, you always want to make sure you're unplugged so you don't accidentally trigger it. Some people use that tool. It's a little forked spanner wrench, but you got to keep track of that. If you don't have it, just make sure your thing's centered. You can usually get that back on here. Centered. Flip that nut over. You just give that a good tensioning. When this thing turns, it spins that way, counterclockwise. I'm looking at it, and if I'm in there grinding and I hold this the right way, it's going to shoot a ton of dust back at me. So if I'm good, what I want to do is actually secure this to my grinder. They've got lots of things you can buy that do this, like attachments and hookups. It's easy enough just to tape it onto there. I'm only doing this for a few shots. I'm going to have a little bit of an angle to it. It'll shoot that back into there. And if I'm careful, I only touch with that one side to whatever I'm working, so that it shoots it right back into the vacuum as I'm running the vacuum. Time for the PPE segment. Our mask is very important. Safety gear. And a glove. If I was doing a tight spot, I'd wear a Tyvek suit and all that stuff, and probably feed myself some oxygen if I was down in there. But this should be good enough here. I also, my thing's broke because of all the solvents, so I just put on these bungee cords, and it works great because you just, that's easy to do with gloves on. All right, I'm grinding away. I was going to do a couple test passes to see how I'm going to move the tool, make sure I can move it before I shoot. For a job like this, you just want what I call a kitty hair. It's chopped mat. Probably use these too. I stack them up in the opposite way I want to lay them on. Big one, next size one, smaller ones. Gonna go 1-to-1 pumps. One. This is upside down, so it's better if I make these, if I thin these out beforehand, right side up. I'll saturate them here level, and then I can stick them on like stickers into position since it's overhead. And then I take this and I turn it into thickening compound with my colloidal silica. This will take off quick if I'm not careful. You want this like peanut butter consistency. This is incredibly hard to work upside down, but you see the benefit of pre-wetting these things beforehand, right? Because now they just stick on like stickers. Always make sure your hands are clean. Oh, that's done. So that's on there. That should stick and already begin picking off. And then I'll just come back tomorrow and buzz it down with the sander, flatten it out, and then I'll paint it with my bilge paint. And it'll be ready to have the backing block on. Yeah.
So I've been working on my sailing endorsement with Mariner's Learning System, and so far so good. It's actually, I actually already know a lot of the information, so it's not that difficult. I would say that if you aren't really familiar with sailing terms and sailboats in general, I would say maybe get some sea time or learn these terms before you get started in this. You are required to have 360 days of sea time on a sailing vessel before you turn in your certificate after you've done this course to put that on your license. The quizzes are actually pretty simple. So, for example, I'll run quickly through some of the questions on this quiz. A wind vane on a moving vessel shows estimated wind direction, apparent wind direction, true wind direction, or dead reckoning wind direction. So the answer is apparent wind direction. That's something that maybe you've never thought of before, but the course will actually teach you that. So if there are things that are, you know, really term based and you don't know the terms or you don't know the names for things or a lot of the sailing theory, the course will actually teach you that, so don't worry about it. As long as you understand how the boat moves through the wind and what does what, the rest of it, the course will just fill in the blanks, so don't worry too much about that stuff. The course is supposed to be like a 4-hour course, they say. That's how long it takes to get through the course and all the information. If you don't already know the stuff, then it's going to take you longer. I recommend taking notes. I took some notes in my notebook just to remember some terms that I maybe haven't used in years. You know, like the clue and the guy and stuff like that that I don't really have to use. I've heard of them. I've been told what they were 20 years ago. I don't remember, you know. Yeah, but so far so good. We're good. This is good. Filling in some blanks in my own knowledge, anything that I don't already know or didn't quite understand, the course is really clarifying it, so it's good.
Laid up pretty good. I just got to do a little bit of fairing the underside. I got my Bosch with the 60 grit orbital. This is a great sander. It's got the adjustable speed. You know, that's really ideal. It's a little heavy and big, but it gets the job done. Wipe it off, not rub it in. It's like wiping your butt, you know what I mean? You don't want to rub in the poop, you want to wipe the poop away. You like to fold it to a new part of the rag every couple of wipes. I didn't stop and get a brush, so I had to tape a couple small brushes together. And I shook this up a good bit before coming up here, so pretty sure that's all good. Now if you're ever putting a lid back on a paint can, you don't want to slam it down, it's going to splatter paint everywhere. So I like to always put a lid around it like this and manually really make sure it's good. And if you got a hammer, you want to do that, make sure that's on it. I like to always gather up that little bit of paint there.
we're back on the last day of working on Sea Ray with Anderson, and he should be here any minute. He just ran to the store to get some caulk and a few other things. So yeah, as soon as he gets here, we'll get back in there.
All right, stop. Are we good at the top?
No, I don't think so.
When I do stuff like that, I like to make sure my head is not underneath what I'm drilling, so that the shavings don't fall on my face. Oh! Go down some. Just tap it. That's good. Oof. Very good. Go down. Go down. Just keep going down. It's good.
So as long as you stop as soon as you hear that.
Yeah. But so what's going on is that's a worm gear drive, and the worm gear is turning. At a certain point, it catches the end of the gears and it's trying to keep on turning, and it's beginning to engage the shaft.
Right.
But it won't because the shaft isn't geared or anything. It's just catching on the worm gear.
Yeah.
So it's wanting to spin it, but I think because it's secured, it's not spinning it. That it's not letting it torque around.
Right.
So it's essentially fixed. It's not going to rip out again. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. You can bottom out on that switch, and it probably won't do anything. In fact, just hold the switch down in the down position. Go. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fixed.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it won't rip out anymore.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome.
Oh, and one more thing. I passed my sailing endorsement exam. I got the email yesterday saying that I passed the test, so we're good. Sailing endorsement is printed and done and ready to send off to the Coast Guard. If you are thinking about doing your sailing endorsement, I would say Mariner's Learning System has a really good, thorough course. I'm pretty sure that the test questions at the very end of it are like Coast Guard questions. If you would like to add the sailing credential to your license, you can get a discount right here. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching this week. Thanks for being here with us. I think we've got some exciting stuff next week with some local classic boats here in town, and you're not going to want to miss it. Some cool history going on next week, so stay tuned. See you guys. Bye.
Hello, my name is Kristen Anderson. This is my boat.
My name's Cletus. I restored this boat. It's a 1957 Chris Craft.
I'm Captain George, and this is my boat, and it's a Stouter-built Cedar Point Special.
Hey, my name's Tom Stevens, and I built this boat. It's called a Ulua.